Hello everyone. Welcome to the Suburban Saturn. This is your boy, Ed, your friend till the end. And this one is going to be another short, brief update on the World Cup because who isn't excited about the World Cup? Just a joke. I know there's a lot of people who actually still don't care, even though it's one of the greatest. I think it's the greatest World Cup I've ever seen in my life. And the first World Cup I remember was the 98 France. Very vaguely, I remember watching the final game at home. Then the second World Cup, or like that I remember, or the World Cup that I should say that actually brought me into the sport and made soccer come online in my brain, was the 2002 World Cup, where Brazil took it over Germany. That's one of the best finals ever. I remember screaming when Ronaldo scored that second goal. I have no idea why I wanted the Brazilians to win, but I think around that time there was that whole Joga Bonito campaign with Nike, so I was just so enthralled by the Brazilian style of play. It was so stylish, it was so technical, but they made it look artistic, almost like they were dancing with the ball. It's beautiful, man. So that era still stuck around with me. I think this is why Brazil is always a protagonist for me in every World Cup, even though I'm not Brazilian or, I don't really have many ties to the countries, save for a few friends out there. But I love the culture. I love the language, Portuguese. I love their music. I love their soccer, their football. Amazing, right? So I'm always sad when I see Brazil wipe out, even though they haven't been great since that 2002 generation. I think I just expected them to always be amazing by default. And fast forward 20 years, and it's different countries, that had never traditionally even won the World Cup, like Spain, who is now making it to their second World Cup final in the last decade, maybe 12 years or so. They were the winners, I think, of I guess almost like 15 years already. Never mind. I'm not sure if they won the Africa 2010, but I believe it was 2010 Africa that Spain won against the Netherlands for their very first World Cup. And now they are in a final on the precipice of yet again being champions of the world. So I got the France prediction wrong. I'll have to eat crow there. I was so certain that the French would be able to overcome the Spanish due to sheer belief of the public and of France being the powerhouse that they are. But my original pick before the World Cup started was Spain. I think maybe the game against Cabo Verde, where Spain tied Cabo Verde, that set the tone for the Spanish not coming off as threatening, but they had shown signs of it. They like scored 5 on Saudi Arabia. So there were sparks of that Spain, but that flattened tone of coming into the World Cup with a tie against a team that just on paper didn't seem to have the same amount of excellency as the Spanish team, I think that maybe made me think less of Spain as we were working through the competition. But obviously they have a solid style of play, and then Cabo Verde proved to be one of the toughest teams. I mean, they almost took out the other finalist, Argentina. Congrats, Argentina. I called that one, got that one right. I knew they would beat England. I just didn't see England. If England struggled against Mexico, yes, right, granted, all the caveats thrown in there, being at the Estadio Azteca with the altitude, playing down one man for like 20, 30 minutes of the game, yes, but Argentina, man, like, of Argentina, whatever you want to call them, yeah, they're good. They're really good. Not for nothing, they're in another final. And it's the same team basically as the 2022 final that won the World Cup is still performing. So they're here yet again. People overhyped in England yet again. Honestly, they have great players, so I don't blame you for believing that England could take it all the way to the final. But as I said in my previous video, I just don't see it. They had too many vulnerabilities. They go soft when they shouldn't go soft, and even defending is not necessarily their forte. At least what I'm saying is that they can make sloppy mistakes there too. And Argentina, as I mentioned the game before with Switzerland, practice cracking open highly defensive teams. When England took the bet on sealing the deal with a 1-0, 1-all, they took the bet that Argentina was not going to be able to break them in the same way that Mexico wasn't able to break them. And oh boy, did that not pay off. I mean, granted, I didn't see them winning this game regardless, but I absolutely thought they would do much better than letting go of the game in the last 10 minutes. But Argentina does that to you, man. All they need is 10 minutes to seal the deal, to score 2 goals and make it basically near impossible for you to keep up. As I predicted, the game was very physical, a lot of kicking, a lot of chest puffing out, a lot of, the old roosters going out to bat. I love that. You love to see it in that game. You see the passion. But at the end of the day, the better team won. In Argentina, congrats, you're on to the final to meet Spain. And this is going to be an interesting one because, again, like, even though Argentina's style of play isn't very convincing, it's very Atletico de Madrid, gritty, super hard fought balls, a lot of pressure, and then, dominance on the attack, just bombing you with crosses or shots outside the 30-yard box. Basically, yeah, I mean, Argentina is a powerhouse too, but the Spanish, the way they play and what we saw against France, they're masters. They're masters at shutting down your play. They're masters at dominating the ball, and they're also masters at capitalizing at that one moment that they get. I think it's going to be a tight one for this one. I do see Argentina losing 0-1, 0-2. I would say it's very unlikely that they win. And I've been wrong, obviously. This last prediction, 50-50, got my prediction. But I have always said whoever wins out of these other two, France or Spain, is going to be the winner of the World Cup. I still stand by that. Didn't matter if England or Argentina went through. My take was that they're both inferior still to either of the other two teams that played in the other semifinal. And they're both coming in really gassed to the semifinals and into the finals. Argentina has had every game for them has been a final, including this last one where they almost lost, and in 10 minutes they did what Argentina does. It's crazy stuff, but you love to see it. This is what we live for. I'm just so excited. The Spanish team are masters of the ball. They're super technical. It seems like they have like a real unit and cohesion. It seems like the players really understand each other. They like each other. They play for each other, and that's great. The Argentinians do too, but they do lack in precision and in technical abilities that sometimes they have to compensate for in some of the dark arts, right? Like the kicking or the roughing and the subtleties where they try to instigate a fight, to make things worse. They will have to deploy and rely on that. The difference is that the Spanish team is very Latin American in flavor. So I think they are much grittier and much rougher than France or than England when they want to be. And they have no problem going there. Famously, the Spanish have always been known for being very tough defenders. And with this style of play, even with the fluid attack, they're very strong midfielders and defenders on the Spanish side. And the way they fought up against the French, man, they shut them down. And Argentina is going to need way more than the dark arts in order to beat them. They're going to actually have to go hunting for a goal right away. So the best case scenario for Argentina to potentially win the game, score early and then create a low block so that Spain tires itself out trying to crack open in Argentina. That's likely not going to crack open. That's the best bet. But without that goal, and if they concede first, Argentina concedes first, it's game over, man. I think that 1-0 is basically a good thin margin for a World Cup final with two very aggressive teams. I don't really see it opening up. I don't think Spain is going to dominate Argentina 3-0, but you know what? This Spanish team is full of surprises. So if they do, we would love to see it. The last thing I'll say about this is that we're getting, we almost got a bit of a redux of like the Euros final and then the World Cup final from last cycle. So France, Argentina redux, either for third place would have been delicious or for the final would have been delicious. But I'm very happy that we get a final that I don't think we've ever seen before, a Spain-Argentina I'm super excited about that personally. I think both these teams we're getting the finalissima. Both these teams bring a different kind of football style to the table, and it'll be great to see the king of the CONMEBOL region versus the king of Europe. And who knows? I don't necessarily have a dog in this fight. I care neither for Spain nor for Argentina. I do love the beautiful love story there between Lamine and Messi, where Messi baptized Lamine, and now Lamine represents the new generation of football, and Messi's the legacy of football, the GOAT. To see them square off in a final, it's beautiful. It's drama that you can't make up, right? So I'm just so excited for this final. Whoever takes it deserves it, and they're probably the best. I know people would be disappointed if Argentina ends up winning, but like I said, Argentina, they're there for a reason. You may not like their style of football. You might hate that they're snobby or can be at least, and that they think of themselves very highly when it comes to football. But when you win and you're up there, that's one of the benefits, I guess. So yeah, anyways, excited for this stuff. That's it, signing out.